You're listening to From a Certain Point Askew, the only Star Wars podcast to be recognized by the Tatooine Dentist Association. 9 out of 10 dental droids brush with sand, and so should you. I am Jason the Ginger Jedi Guy, broadcasting live from inside Wookiee Poo Studios. I'm not alone. Please allow me to introduce your favorite wretched scum, scoundrels, and smugglers. Up first is my neighbor, Sans Appendix, neighbor Cole.
Ah, yes, very good. When you don't have any crawdad to eat, you eat sand.
So this is the first time I've seen you in a week, and it was kind of funny watching you. I thought at first you were like making fun of yourself, like, oh, it's really hard to come down the stairs, but you were really struggling.
No, yeah, I'm a full-on incapacitated. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm still fucking.
It's been a while since you talked.
My brain is so fucking fried. Like, I'm still trying to deal with everything.
Everyone at work is like, hey, how's Cole doing? I was like, I don't know. Haven't seen him in a week.
Yeah. You guys, thanks for checking on me, by the way. I appreciate
well, we've
that.
texted. I was going to come down the other night, but your house is dark. And I was like, oh. And I haven't been home.
I didn't want to share this on the show or personally, but I fell in the shower. I split my... Oh, it fucking hurts to laugh so
I
bad.
just got up. It felt Wednesday.
I've been in the shower. I've slowly been going insane because the cold water has been turning me into
You look like a California raisin.
Yeah, it's terrible. No, I was cut in half by by Ben Kenobi's saber. I'm fucking done with this show.
All right, let's bring on Darth and see if we can save this.
You want to do the introduction? I can't handle it.
Darth Mathias, go ahead. You have permission to speak.
Yeah,
welcome to the show.
Oh. That's the best I can do. I practiced that before the show. That's a tough one to do.
You were in the mirror. You got to have that, right?
With or without the mask is what I want to know.
No mask. I don't have that mask
Yet.
Not yet. Thank you for having me on, boys. I think you should maybe give a little context there on Cole's situation because he is fighting through the pain and discomfort to bring you entertainment this week.
Yeah,
that's right. No back to tube anything for you.
Tank.
Back to tank.
Yeah, no back to tank.
Yeah.
I could fucking use a back to tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I did have my appendix removed after it burst because I'm an asshole.
So it did burst.
I'm a complete asshole. Yeah, I probably had I don't know. It started hurting Monday morning. I fought through it all Monday. Worked my entire 12-hour shift, just completely miserable. Like everyone looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" I don't feel well. Mind your own fucking business.
What you thought you just had to take a shit?
I thought I was constipated. Honestly, like I thought I had to go poo poo, Papa. And
this started Monday.
Yeah, it started Monday.
Okay.
And then I went in. I called in for Tuesday for work. Went to the urgent care.
After you signed up for overtime for Wednesday on Monday.
Correct. Yep.
I'll be good by then.
Called in for Tuesday, go to the urgent care where some, 12-year-old with a medical degree said, "Oh, you probably just took too much medicine when you, you thought you had a stomach ache."
Yeah.
Because I came home from work Monday. I took Mylanta, I took milk of magnesia, and I took a dose of NyQuil, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. And hopefully I just don't shit the bed in my sleep. And,
rubber sheets.
Yeah.
Would you open up the medicine cabinet and just be like, I'll take a shot of this, I'll take a shot of this. Something's going to fix it by morning.
I was plotting. I ate a half a roll of Tums at work. I ate like 4 Pepto-Bismol. I just thought I had like stomach issues because I felt like I had this fist gripping my stomach, and it was like a greasy fist. And it was just the most intense, like, uncomfortable pain I've ever had. It wasn't sharp shooting pain, though. So I learned from the doctor who removed my appendix I have an inverted appendix. So my appendix runs backwards. So my symptoms, she said a lot of times people who have a backwards appendix, their symptoms don't manifest in, like, intense pain. But you just have it because the old urgent care idiot was pushing on my stomach. He's like, "Does that hurt?" I'm like, "It's uncomfortable." I said, "My stomach is distended." Like, I'm looking at my fucking Buddha belly right now, and it looks like that's not how I normally look, Doc. I promise. I work out.
Well, you were really uncomfortable Monday on the ride home. Like you said you didn't feel good, but you said it didn't feel like flu something, but you were, I get like kind of pain. But I saw you shifting in the chair a lot. Like you couldn't.
I felt like I had like just a stomach full of like hot gas. And then Tuesday, nothing. I ended up doing some more.
You were just like hoping to Dutch oven.
I ended up doing a couple more procedures Tuesday night. Nothing to no avail. Threw up about 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's when I was like, okay, something's wrong. And then I went into the ER and sat for 4 hours waiting.
Oh, he's not dying.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a tummy ache. And then I get up there. They give me the CT scan, and he comes back. He's like, "This has been going on since Monday?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, your appendix is ruptured. He's like, your stomach is just full of inflammation. He's like, you're going to go into surgery. I'm like, okay. He's like, the ER doctor or
and then 12 hours later,
the urgent care doctor didn't tell you. The urgent care doctor told me to go home and drink Gatorade, right? That's what his advice was. And I was like, okay, thank you for your University of Phoenix degree.
He meant G2, not regular Gatorade. That's what he screwed up.
No, he specifically told me, don't drink Gatorade Zero. You want the sugar, the Gatorade with the sugar. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like,
when you told me you were urgent care, I was like, don't go to the ER. Like, they're not going to do anything.
I didn't want to go in.
They won't even draw blood most of the time.
I didn't want to go in and like fucking spend a whole shit ton of money on like a bunch of shit that I didn't need.
It's like Ferris Bueller's dad. Make yourself some soup and wrap a cold towel around your head.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Champ. So yeah, then I go into surgery. 8:30, I believe. It was about 8:30 on Tuesday night. Wednesday night. Yeah, it was Wednesday night at that point. And so I sat, and the worst fucking thing in the world. They're like IV begging me, and they're fucking giving me antibiotic flushes, and the whole entire time when I left at 7:30 in the morning, I took I rinsed my mouth with a thing of Gatorade, and like one swallow.
So you're still drinking Gatorade?
I drank I had a little bit in the bottom of the bottle because I did what the doctor told me. Drink some Gatorade.
Yeah.
That was chew spit.
It was a piss bottle I forgot about, and I just drank it down. But no, I drink that little bit, and I'm at the fucking ER, and I'm waiting to be seen. I go walk looking for like a drinking fountain. They're all turned off because of COVID. And I go to the charge nurse. Is there a vending machine here? He's like, no, sorry, man. And I'm thirsty. I'm really thirsty. And then I had to wait until 8:30.
That's what your Tinder profile says.
Yeah. I had to wait till 8:30 to go into surgery. I'm just dying of thirst. My mouth is like caking. I have like white all around my lips. I'm like, can I get like just water? I swear to God, I won't drink it. Can I just rinse my mouth out? And the nurse gives me a sponge with some water on it, and I'm just sucking it till like it's a fucking penis full of water. But yeah, so I ended up going into surgery, came out, and then I watched the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't remember.
Which you don't really,
I don't remember any of it.
Well, that's the best part. We were going to record on Thursday, show releases on Wednesday. And I was just looking back at our DMs. You're like, so I had a ruptured appendix, and I think I'm still going to be good for the show tonight. I love how you're saying, like, I think I'll still be fine. Then finally we get on later. You're like, you know what? I can't do this. Or was it you? No, it was the snow.
Yeah,
you were still going to go.
Yeah, I was stuck in Hoth.
I was just like secretly fingers crossed that Jay was gonna be like, well, let's not do it.
I assumed you were because you were real quiet all day long, and I'm like, why the fuck does he think he's gonna record?
Sleeping and recovering from major surgery.
How dare you?
It's okay to push it out. I'll understand.
Yeah. I've got commitments, man. I know how your spreadsheet looks. I don't want to be a sideline. I don't want to be an asterisk on that thing.
The spreadsheet can be edited. It's not a big deal.
I would have came down. I would have been like, no, I'm seriously like, I think the anesthesia really fucked with me for a while because I didn't realize. I came home and I have my wheelbarrow parked in front of my where I parked my car, and it just sits like the tongs to the wheelbarrow are pointing towards me, and the kids are in the seat
in the garage.
Yes.
Okay.
And I parked it and I hit that. And I push it forward, and I don't realize what I'm doing. I'm just like watching it.
You shouldn't have been driving.
And I hit the stack of tires that are like in front, and Cole's like, Dad, stop. I'm like, oh. So I stop the car, and I go out, and I got a fucking hole in the front of my grill from my car.
Oh.
From where the wheelbarrow tong fucking
made
poked
sense
through.
at the time.
And Cole's like, Dad, did you see it? I was like, I saw it. I saw it moving. I was like, I just didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, my God. Ooh, I think it would have been a fun recording to do.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, so you were saying you watched it in the hospital?
Yeah, I think it was so Wednesday night. I think probably about, I don't know. I felt like so they gave me morphine when I got there.
Yeah.
So they give me morphine and something to calm my stomach in. So I felt fucking great for about 4 hours. And then they're like, you want any more? And I hate taking stuff. And I'm always just like, I was like, my pain was coming back pretty good. Everything was starting to come back. And they're like, do you want more?
Give me a Gatorade.
And they're like, well, you're going to be in surgery.
Uh-oh. Oh. We're going to have a lot of those moments.
Yeah, we are.
Stop that. So I was like, just talking to the nurse, and she's like, well, you can have more. She's like, you can have more morphine. And I'm always like, no, I'm gonna get
addicted.
Yeah. I'm seriously, I hate that shit. I don't like to take anything if I can help it. Like I struggle sometimes taking Motrin or ibuprofen. Okay. But yeah, so I was like, she's like, well, you're getting surgery this afternoon. Well, this afternoon ended up being 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, I hope I'm not the last surgery of the night, and they're trying to rush us out of here and get to the bar. Like, 'cause I'm listening to the nurses talking, and they're all just fucking like making fun of the guys that are in the surgery before me. Like, I don't know if they remember that I'm down here, but they're like talking about the fucking idiot that was like fucking waking up and like saying racial slurs and shit.
Oh, Jesus!
And I'm like, well, you don't. It's not. It's like
They weren't talking about you, right?
I hope not. No, that was in the waiting room before I went under.
So your mind tells you now.
Well, that's what I've convinced myself of.
You wake up and the nurses are blowing spice in your face. Hey, what the hell is this stuff?
So you think you watched the Book of Boba Fett sometime during your morphine spill or after surgery? But
After surgery, still under anesthesia, but I was just sucking down fucking Diet Sprite. Like, it was like,
you texted me.
I messaged, or I asked the nurses, like, what do we got on tap? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, what kind of diet soda do you have that I can immediately get? And she's like, I have Diet Coke and Diet Sprite. I said, or Diet Sierra Mist.
Bring me 2 and 2.
I said, I want a fucking water. I said, I don't want to see the bottom of the glass. And I said, I want a fucking Diet Sprite.
She put $100 out and like, this is your tip. You
Keep
take $1 off every time she.
I said, if you play your cards right, you can give me a sponge bath, lady. I'll get moving, doll. And I slapped her on the tush.
There you go.
No, they were all super sweet. They had me over in the children's hospital because the whole fucking hospital was full of COVID patients, man. Like, it was just.
When he texted me and he wanted me to bring him a bag, and he's like, I'm in the children's hospital, 6th floor.
The doctor comes in to talk to him. And he's sitting on one of those little chairs. Like, hey, so I'm going to bring it down to your level.
My bed was a fireman or fire truck.
He's like Ross and Friends. He still sees his pediatrician as an adult.
Right, exactly.
Doc, can I get a lolly? Can you cut the crust off this PB&J for me?
Oh my God, why are there balloons in here? I don't need these.
I'll tell you what, the fucking kids got it nice because I had this big ass
Your room was
with
huge.
a view, and I had my own bathroom and
Nintendo,
colorful TV. I was able to watch. What was I watching? I watched
Book of Boba Fett.
couple episodes of Friends. I watched BattleBots. I was watching BattleBots on cable TV.
So you did, just to be clear, you did rewatch the episode of Book of Boba, so you do know what we're going to talk about, right?
I do. Yes, I went back through it, and then things were starting to come back.
Did he text us in our chat room? He says, "I don't remember any of this."
Right.
I thought
we
I
start
watched
making
it.
references. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I remember a couple of like the major big things, but I was watching it on my phone and I was kind of like half-heartedly watching it because I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I like to watch it once and then go through it and enjoy it, and then I watch it again and take notes. Type of a deal.
Same.
And so I was watching it the first time through, but I don't remember. I would have to say I do not remember 75% of the things that I saw.
Wow.
Like, you started talking about the fucking Wookiee, and I'm like, what is he talking? And then I'm like, oh, yeah.
There was a Wookiee?
There was a fucking black-haired Wookiee in this thing. And
We should have just made shit up.
You guys should have. I would have.
And then Han showed up. He
I
did?
had no idea.
Remember that?
If we'd have recorded Thursday and had I started catching on that he wasn't, I would have like ran with it. Holy shit. It'd have been a whole different show by the time you went back and watched. He's like, what is he talking about?
Captain Kirk showed up. They did a weird crossover. I don't know what that was about. Before we get too far, I'm glad you're doing better. Thanks for gutting it out for this show.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm here for you.
Speaking of our show, you can find us at FromACertainPointOfSkew.com. Tweet at us on Twitter at FACPApod, and you can email the show FACPApod@gmail.com. We are also part of the Podawans Podcast Network at Podawans. The Clashing Sabers fundraiser they were doing was supposed to end Friday, but they extended it because they hadn't hit their goal yet. So you can still do that. Go check them out. I'll put the note in the show notes, but it's go.rallyup.com/revenge of the reader. I actually donated some money, and I'm wondering, does Dave match my donations or just our listeners? So Dave, if you're out there, let me know because I donated a little bit of money.
I did too. I donated some.
See, there you go.
I was thinking about that today when I was looking at the notes. I was like, I wonder if I'm a piece of shit because I've not donated yet. Like, it didn't even hit me. So I will have to do that. I'm glad they extended it.
Yeah, they extended it to, I think, the 17th. So
and
I'm
gonna autograph one of those books too. So there you go.
Nice. And also, speaking of giveaways, just to remind folks that during the Book of Boba season, we're going to be doing a giveaway of a custom-made lightsaber from Dave, Darth Flamingus. And so just go ahead and tweet about the show. You send us a Maul Bag entry, write a review, or donate to that fundraiser, and you will get entries into that contest. And we'll probably announce it the week after the finale. Since the season's only 7 episodes, maybe we'll do the giveaway the week after.
It's a good idea. Let's not put everything in, one basket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's separate it out.
You can be a winner just like Mike Laybourne. On the show today, we got a question of the week. We got a peek under the Tusken hood. We're going to do some news. Filoni wrote Book of Boba Chapter 6. We'll discuss that. Meat and potatoes of the episodes are Book of Boba Fett Episode 2, The Tribes of Tatooine. We're going to discuss that, the ins and outs, and see how much of it Cole remembers after 2 viewings. We'll hit our Maul Bag. We've got 2 this week. And then did we end up with a factoid?
I don't think we did. I think we're factoidless. Although the question of the week has a little bit of info in it, so maybe it's a crossover of sorts.
Yeah. I noticed that when you were in our chat, you started just letting us all have all the I'm like, why don't you just put one of these as a factoid?
I probably should have, but like I was having fun. Well, I thought I was having a conversation, and then like it was an info dump, and then no one responded for like 7 hours.
I'm sorry.
I was like, well, I apologize for geeking out. Apparently, I did not read the room.
My phone was across the room.
Well, we can get into some of the stuff that you were sharing when we're talking specifically about those items when we do the show recap. So question of the week. So as you mentioned, in our DMs and all over Twitter, there has been a lot of chatter this week about what the Tuskens look like under their masks and clothes. So there are some non-canon depictions in the comics, and I found this interesting bit from Wikipedia, and it says, quote, all sand people wore mouth grills and eye coverings to retain moisture and keep sand out. However, their need to protect their bodies from Tatooine's weather grew into a taboo against exposing any part of their bodies in public. Because of this, Tuskens almost never unmasked themselves, even in front of one another. They were forbidden to remove their clothing in front of others except at childbirth, on their wedding night, and at coming-of-age ceremonies. In addition, no outsider is known to have seen behind a Tusken's mask and lived. And by the way, somebody tweeted out this week that that punk-looking gal that's in the trailer that we haven't seen yet, who's on the speeder bike. They're like, this is a Tusken on Rumspringa. I thought that was pretty good.
That is good.
I was gonna say, yeah, because they're like the Amish. They basically like clothes head to toe.
So my question: what do you think they look like under there? Those Tuskens.
I don't know, because that was one of the things that I was sending you guys info on. So there's been some different things shared, I guess, with Lucasfilm over the years. One was was it a 95 tops trading card set,
right?
Where they showed it was like a tattooed sort of like warrior looking guy. They seem to have like tribal tattoos all over their body. The couple of depictions that we've seen. There was one where the mask came off and it pretty much looked like a sunken face in reverse of the mask. So it's just like a horrific version of what the mask would be, but flesh. And then there's actually a Jedi. What was it? Darth Krayt was his name. That's
right.
Part that was a Tusken, but none of this is canon. So I don't know.
I think they look like one of two things. They look exactly like the Predator from the Predator movies. Mm-hmm. Like they just unravel and it's like, the incisors.
Okay.
Or they have upside down faces.
Kind of like your inverted appendix. Yeah.
My inverted appendi and my inverted peni.
I knew there was something off about you when I met you, and it was the appendix.
Yeah. You can tell a lot about a man and where he's been by the size of his appendix.
Something's off with this guy. I just
and
can't
which
put
way
my
it
finger on
points.
Yeah. Wagons east.
I think they're gorgeous under there. All they do is protect their skin. They probably have some like ancestral moisturizer they use, that works with the outfit.
So they don't take the gowns off.
It's probably that grub that they fucking squirted into Boba's mouth. They use that on their skin.
Oh yeah,
I think
like
so.
Lotion maybe.
So maybe that's why they're at odds. Some of them are at odds with moisture farmers because they're like they need that moisture for their moisturizer.
I like where we're going here. Yeah. And maybe that's why Anakin was so able to take them all out and slay them because they're all just frail, beautiful women.
They didn't show those scenes, but they're actually getting dressed. Like, oh shit, and they're not as fast as firefighters.
This isn't my coming of age ceremony. You're not allowed to glimpse me.
Tusken Raider Minutemen.
I just love that it's childbirth, wedding night. I love that. You're out. You're free tonight. You can do whatever you want. Get after each other.
Man, I hope there's a really long shower in that wedding ceremony.
So yeah, wedding night. But then what about afterwards? If you want to make another mini Tusken,
you got that one night.
And you just got to pull it out of your pajamas.
You better knock it out. Night one.
You can do it in the dark. You can do it in the dark. Just gotta have the lights off.
Unbutton the pajama. I'm just gonna pull this out, and I'm gonna use this Milky Way wrapper as a condom.
Yeah, it's the old penis through the opening in the underwear.
It's
You
you,
know?
put the bed sheet on
Sneak it out
top of
there.
you, then you cut a hole out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she just gets on top, and you can't even
Right.
see anything.
It's like a
over-
religion.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows what's going on. Exactly. That's how it works.
There's a hole in my tent.
And then that sheet is later on that's used in the ceremony for the child once it's born, and that
Oh,
becomes
well,
the mouthpiece.
The kid, the kid gets that's what you wrap the kid's face in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
As always, Favloni, please feel free to use any of our ideas. These are
Yeah.
open source. We're willing to share.
Yeah, I'd like to see you pull off the upside down face. That'd be pretty, pretty interesting. Okay, on to the news. Only one news item. So much of the news is about Boba stuff that we're going to get to anyway. So the only one I wanted to point out, though, is that it was revealed that Filoni, we knew he was going to direct an episode, didn't know which one, but it's been revealed that he's actually written the chapter 6, so the penultimate episode
Yes.
of this season. And so it makes you wonder, what exactly are we going to see? My initial response, and I think I put it on Twitter, was, so we get Cad Bane in chapter 6.
Chad Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe
It
we
has
do.
to be, right? Like, is he gonna let himself down because every time he gets to do something, he's pulling something from his Clone Wars days, So someone's
Yeah.
showing up. Now, I had a vision, and my visions are usually correct, right? Scott Eastwood is going to play Cad Bane.
Did you mentioned this before, didn't
Did
you?
I?
Where did you get that from?
Oh, I just thought about it today. Maybe we did hear it before, and I'm
No,
just
I
pulling
think
back from
you
an old memory.
specifically said it a long time ago.
Because
we
he's
talked about it.
based off of Clint Eastwood, so I just thought, well, why not
Oh,
just pull
right.
his fucking son and
Are you
have
trying to
him
do
do
the
it?
thing where you get famous on Twitter for 30 seconds again and make
Yeah.
me all mad?
That was wrong.
Doctor Who was supposed to be in, what was it?
No, it was
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange was going to Iron Man was going to show up in something, right? And
Okay,
the
you
Doctor
got
Strange
quoted.
movie was being filmed at the time.
And they're
What
like,
did they
Jay
angry?
from 7 Days a Geek,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it was at the time.
Yep. Yeah. No,
Good
I'm trying to
source.
do it again. No, this is more of a collective consciousness thing. I see it and I'm broadcasting it before it's talked about by other people. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, considering there's that previous thing we've seen of their battle, like I could see the flashback where they actually do it. They're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna give it to you." It's those
Right.
two squaring
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Why not? So I'm all for it. But let's get into the Book of Boba, shall we? But actually, before we get into the episode itself, question for you guys, because there's been a lot of criticism of the show, as far as we talked about last week, the pacing and kind of what they're trying to bring you in the story and the back and forth with the flashbacks and all that. Even our own Cole can't get past the man's teeth.
The teeth are growing on me.
Yeah. I feel like they grew on him since the last episode.
I think they
they got
unwhitened him.
longer and whiter.
No, I feel like they kind of maybe didn't focus on them, or maybe
No, that where he's sitting on the speeder and he's like a bantha, and he's like hopping on it and he
The
fucking
best moment of
grins.
the episode?
It was almost like when you watch like the Robot Chicken episodes,
Yeah.
and the mouse are just these white little moving teeth.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
It definitely stands out. That meme with the toothbrush battle was
Yes.
pretty funny. That's pretty good stuff.
yeah, that was good.
But one of the concerns going into this series, and has been voiced even more lately, is kind of like, oh, we're removing more of the mystique of Boba Fett and who he was. Which, I mean, the prequels, the Clone Wars, those removed a lot of that mystique. So this is just kind of a continuation of that. But I've read some critics who are saying like one of their biggest beefs is we're going from this guy who was kind of like this ruthless dude who had kind of his own motivations and just using like this boring hero arc. Is that
Yeah.
like taking something out of what we know Boba as by him not being that and him just being like your standard heroic character as the main lead?
They're de-villainizing him, is what the way I heard it called. Put.
Yeah, but like how much of that is he a villain because that's in our head, right?
I mean, I don't think he was a good dude. He was a bounty hunter. They're like the scum of the earth, right? Like most of them. I mean, from
Is
the
it a bad
general
idea
consensus-
to humanize him though?
I don't think he should be a good guy, in my opinion.
I don't think he's a good guy.
I think he's totally neutral. He's motivated by money. He's motivated by his own selfish needs, not anything else. So
And
it's
we
not like
don't
he's-
know
he's
what his
trying to-
motivation is yet. We don't know why he's taken over. Why he shot Bib Fortuna and why he's taken over the. I'm a crime lord now, but why? What's his purpose?
Yeah, that's true. But I thought it was a fair point. Are we telling a story almost like, hey, the Mandalorian was the hero of the Mandalorian or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the same thing with Boba Fett instead of keeping him kind of on the edge. But you're right. We don't know his motivations and his end goal at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. I mean, someone was on Twitter and they basically were turning him into like Daenerys from Game of Thrones. Like, I'm the breaker of chains. I'm the mother of dragons. I'm all this, and they're like, he's the father of crate dragons, and like all they were listing all this shit. It was kind of funny, but I as long as they keep going back, I guess, and they're showing us like someone, because I think a big part of this is, at least for me, was with the idea of the Book of Boba Fett, we'd be seeing flashbacks, we'd be seeing some of this cool shit that we wanted to see, right? And we're not really seeing like him doing like Mandalorian shit. Like he's flying with a jetpack, he's fucking fighting, he's shooting. Like even like the Jango Fett scene on
Kamino.
Right, where he's flying, fighting Kenobi. We haven't seen anything like that yet, but we got 5 episodes yet. I'm guessing they're going to go back a little bit further, but I like the idea that he's turning into someone we don't expect him to turn into, right? Like he is going. There's character growth, there's a character arc, and I don't think a lot of people were ready for that.
Yeah. No, and don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. I'm enjoying the show. It's just that I thought it was an interesting criticism that people are like, oh, well, could they have gone a different direction and really made this guy be more sinister? And that's who we have. That's our guy who we're having to follow, is this guy who's maybe a little bit more evil than we are comfortable with watching a show about.
I would have been all in for that. Like, I would have liked to have seen, I don't know, he doesn't have to, like, he's always been a villain, an ominous character. Someone that you got the Jedi on the left and you got the fucking the bad guys on the right, the Empire on the right. I always put Boba Fett like off the center to the right. You know what I mean? Like he was close to evil. I would have. I don't know. I mean, every story that you're entertained by doesn't have to be like leave you all feeling happy go lucky. Like it's like Ben Stiller at the end of Dodgeball. Oh, don't make me think.
But I think the Empire would be more. Given their ways, they're more willing to pay a bounty hunter type character to,
right.
You know what I mean? Versus the rebellion or something like that. So that's why you would see him more on that side, just because that's his employer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did like this episode more than the first episode. It seemed like there was, there's a lot more action. I just thought it played better. But we speculated last week, we kind of kicked it around. But like, if we saw the Tuskens again, maybe it would be in a while. Of course, it's right away. And we also said that it would probably be more of him like learning how he got the gaffy stick and became trained and all that stuff. And that's exactly what we got. So they really brought us up to speed on getting him to the point where when you finally see him in Mandalorian, it all makes sense from this episode, because he's in those robes in the end and he's like a badass with that gaffy stick. And where did he get that gaffy stick? We find out he made it.
We also were like pretty straight on. One of us predicted, and I'm not sure who it was, but that he's not going to be done with the Underlords and on the Syndicate, and the Hutts, right? So we all thought that like Jabba being killed in Jedi, and then Bib Fortuna taking over and all that stuff, and then there was going to be a vacuum, and he's filling that vacuum, and now all of a sudden like you get the twins show up, right? I thought that was pretty cool. We called that dead on. Like he's not done with the Hutts. He's not done with the mob or crime syndicate.
Right.
Yeah, and I think also showing the relationship building with the Tuskens is going to be important down the line, because they're going to come back around. And also, this is a guy who's talking about, I want to rule with respect and all that kind of stuff. So this is a way of showing he's more of like a man of the people on Tatooine, because he's getting the support of all sorts of people that live there, not just...
He's definitely filling the purses of the Jawas. I'll give you that.
Getting into the episode, we started with Fennec calling that, I'll just call him a red ninja, but the guy from the Order of the Night Wind is what we find out.
Cool name.
Wasn't there, so that establishing shot, it's a high view shot looking down on Jabba's palace and this big long trail that leads to like the famous the gate that Luke Skywalker's standing in front of in Return of the Jedi, right? But she's walking and she's pulling this guy, and I think in, was it Clone Wars Rebels, something, they show ships parked out way out there. In this shot, there's no ship. So I'm like, where the fuck did she walk all the way from fucking town?
That's a long walk, it appears. Maybe, I don't know, because you don't see them in a craft when they go to see the mayor again. You don't see. Right. We obviously know they're not on a litter, because we're going to keep talking about that.
I was literally about to say that. No pun intended.
But yeah, it's that is funny though. Like they're literally walking up this long way. It's like, couldn't you park closer?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm wearing these red slippers for combat, and these aren't for long distances. These are for quick movements.
We didn't hear about the Night Wind before, I don't think. I think this is created for this show.
Right.
I don't believe it's part of the lore. But yeah, they're questioning him about, who hired you? Why'd you try to kill me? All that stuff. And we get a good old Ichuta! Basically, fuck you.
Right, yes.
And the torture droid says he won't talk. He's not going to talk. He's Order of the Night Wind.
Didn't you love what Fennec said?
He's like, he's just a guy, right? He's like, he's a man under there, something like that.
Well, she's like scoffing at the name brand. She's like, you're paying for the name, overpriced.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You could tell she's lost a few jobs to the Night Wind in the past.
Been undercut.
Yeah. But then they do the old placebo trick on the Rancor cage, right? And then my question is, I've always thought when Jabba hit the button for the Rancor pit and your victim falls in, apparently that's on like an automatic servo where you just slide forward.
It just slides
on your
right
barge.
up, so it's a viewing gallery.
Yeah, it's like on a combination breaker trip or something. But I thought he was always pushed forward.
Oh, you thought there were some people behind it?
Yeah.
Like the slaves, jump back there and start shoving that fat ass
Rancor
forward?
time.
Okay.
Now, that shit's all automated, man.
Yeah.
So,
Quite a feature.
the more you know.
Yeah. Well, we knew that was going to happen at some point because in one of the trailers, they showed them looking down through the cage.
Right.
But then, of course, were you like, holy shit, what are they going to, is it going to be a big Rancor? Is it going to be little? What's it going to be? And then, of course, nothing.
Which makes a complete sense.
Does,
What was see who's got the chops? What was the name of the Rancor from...
Moochie?
Moochie, yeah, it was
Moochie.
Moochie. Yeah, good job. I knew Matt would pull it. I knew it had an M.
Yeah, because where's Moochie? Because that whole episode was about replacing the Rancor, right?
Maybe Moochie's dead. Oh, that'd be sad.
Or during this whole turnover, no one's told Boba that they've got a fucking a kennel out back somewhere.
Yeah,
with fucking
right.
Rancor's out there dying of fucking sun poisoning. Someone water this motherfucker.
Ran out of kibbles and bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sarah McLachlan music's going to play. And they're going to be like, oh, do you know a Rancor is being
He's gonna
mistreated?
that back to tank's gonna open one of those days, and the wind's gonna blow through that fucking open
think
window he's
we've-
got, and he's gonna get, what is that smell?
Oh, I should have watered him. Sorry, Mooch.
So then he admits that he was sent. Well, he says he was sent by the mayor because he's shitting his pants about the Rancor. And by the way, when I saw the scene where they're looking down into the cage, I just thought, we have the tech. Can we install some cameras down there, get some video screens up, so you don't have to look through a little teeny hole to see the battle? You can actually see the whole fucking thing up. I mean, we should have that covered.
Yeah.
Easily. And there was something about that scene where I just got a Spaceballs feeling. I got it twice in this episode, but I just I heard what a maroon. I heard Dark Helmet because he's down there all fucking scared, and then all he's there's nothing down there. It's you fucking idiot.
So we go to Mos Espa to see the mayor. So many Trandoshans just hanging out, eyeing him.
Do you find it silly that they just moments ago, Boba Fett gets his ass handed to him and has to fucking walk his ass back and get in the back to tank. Now he's sitting in his throne room yelling at this guy that tried to murder him, and then he's like, well, guess we're walking back to town.
Yeah, it's too much. They need a quicker route. No wonder he's so angry by the time he gets there.
Yeah.
By the end of this, he'll be using the litter. He'll be like, I'm fucking done with it.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
You know what? Maybe
maybe
litter's
they're
not
onto
bad.
something here. Yeah.
How much for a litter anyway? Look on Craigslist. We get this funny exchange when he walks in and the guy, the receptionist guy is like, and you are, and he would know you from. It was like that old Saturday Night Live skit.
Asking all the leading questions.
I thought it was Pedro Pascal at first.
I did
He
too.
kind of looked like him.
That first shot, and I was like, oh, come on. They're trying to pull one over on us.
Did you see the people waiting in the background in the seats behind in the lobby there?
Yeah.
You know those people are mad about some fucking some local city ordinance or something. They're waiting to file their complaint with the mayor. You're not going to get in today.
Pod racers coming across my lawn, messing it all up.
Yeah. In steps the illusionist.
Yes,
With his hands
he's back.
flowing. Yeah.
Which one of you guys was a big fan of him last episode? Was it Matt?
Old Mart over there.
Yeah.
I think we were all pretty big fans of it. Yeah. And Bobo just barges right in. And then we see the fucking Ithorian. So this dude, when we saw whatever you want to call, I can't remember his name now, Moma or whatever he is, the hammerhead dude from the original Cantina scene in A New Hope.
Yeah.
He was smooth and leathery,
Yeah.
This guy's got some fuzz going on. He looks a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Isn't shaved.
Yeah, he's not shaved. And he's also got some incredibly, incredibly long fingers. And so clearly
Right.
Mock Shays is rocking that big dick underneath those robes.
The ladies love Ithorians.
He's a pianist.
I liked how you hear the native kind of sounds of his voice and then getting translated. And of course, do you know who the voice is in the translator?
Robert Rodriguez, right?
Yes, it's him again. Did he just say that when they're going around? Guys, by the way, I'm going to be doing a lot of voices in the show.
His CD didn't do real well that he cut with his guitar singles, so he's been trying to get his voice out there.
There was a funny interview with Jennifer Beals, and she was talking about how fun it was to work on the set and everything. She's like, yeah, I'd be in my dressing room, and I'd hear Robert Rodriguez next door playing his guitar, and then I'd hear Tim walk in there and start singing with him. It was so fun. I was just thinking of Cole the whole time going, you mother, banging on the wall. Shut up. Try to prepare for the scene.
I'd set a fucking trap in there.
I could just see you
Rid the world.
You'd be like the George Costanza on that Star Wars set.
I'd hide his guitar.
Cole's getting
upset.
So basically mock Shays, or it's Shays or Shays. I don't know. They say it two different ways, but he says the Nightwind aren't allowed to operate out of hut space, and then his guards blast that dude because Boba's like, come on, why'd you send this dude after me? And he's like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Hip fires him too. Like doesn't even pull down. Like aim it. He just shoots it from the hip. Just
Yeah.
Clearly,
Fucking
clearly they've done that before.
doesn't give the guy a say or nothing. It's like, you're dead.
Fennec was ready to go though. She had hers all loaded up and like, okay.
But I mean, those guards shot so fast. It was like you guys would have been dead if they wanted you dead. Like all of a sudden they got their weapons out. I'm like, come on.
Right. Yeah.
But
tough
if
now.
if they're shooting at a main character, they wouldn't have hit first time.
That's true. Yeah. They were wearing red. So
the mayor tells him, let me give you some advice, because Boba's like, you're the mayor because I let you be the mayor. Kind of throwing his big dick energy around.
Right.
And then the mayor is like, just think about who would have sent this after you. The running a family's tougher than being a bounty hunter. Which
I love that line.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. And then he tells him to go see Garza Fwip.
Over at the old sanctuary.
Yep.
That's right.
Back there, the old Ritz-Carlton of the Mos Espa.
I'm glad, by the way, that the Ithorian lived. Like, we'll get to see more of him. They built that set. They want to use it a little bit more.
I think so. Yeah. His office.
So then she comes out and informs him that the twins have laid claim to their cousin's territory. And that's the point we hear these boom, boom, boom drums coming, and everybody starts shitting their pants.
And this is how you bring in a litter right here. This is
it is.
Like, we didn't hear your litter coming. Well, this is what it sounds like.
Finally, the litter talk pays off. Finally.
Yeah,
We finally get a litter, which is hilarious because it's two huts. And they're so fucking huge that the middle is Boeing. And I have a great screenshot that I'll use in our promotional Twitter stuff of the guy in the front who's a Nikto, which is one of those dudes who's in the biker gang. It's one of those kind of people.
Okay.
He is holding up his part of the litter and is struggling so fucking hard to hold it up. He has this look on his face like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it.
I noticed you see them like a lot of them are like just kind of shaking or like shifting and trying to like adjust the weight. They don't have enough.
No, they need a few manpower.
Per whole ratio there.
They're not used to having two on the same. They're like one on the litter only, please, not two. This is too heavy.
And they're cuddled right there in the middle together. Like
my lady friend goes, "Are they conjoined?"
That's what I said.
Yeah,
conjoined fucking twins. And then the dude is fucking using a fucking mouse as like a sweat rag.
That was fucking hilarious.
What is going on?
He's like wiping his brow with this fuzzy animal.
He's got a hanky. I mean, come on.
But two things to clear up here. One, this is Jabba's cousins, right?
Yep.
We know who Jabba's uncle is, right?
Zero.
It's indubitably him. and so I'm thinking, are these Zero's kids? I don't know if there's any other.
You think Uncle Zero's going to show up?
He's dead.
Oh, they killed him, didn't they?
What's her face?
The singer girl.
Snoodles or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Snooki.
She killed that fucker.
Yep.
In cold blood. Yeah, so I just thought these must be Zero's kids, I guess. I don't know if there's another one in there somewhere. There's another.
I mean, there's more huts for sure.
There could be others. Maybe he had other uncles and aunts. I don't know. But I just thought that was my first inclination was like, I think those might be Zero's kids. The other thing is they're claiming by that hilarious like property deed that the guy pulls up, the hollow deed.
Then like fucking Boba's like, I don't care what's on your tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fucking deal.
I got a Kindle Fire too. Fuck you.
Also, just that shot of, I don't know how to say the Wookiee's name, Black Castan, how you say his name, but he
Kirstanen
is a menacing motherfucker and just walks up and they both kind of give each other a look. But do you get the sense that they know each other? Because they know each other in the comic books. They work together.
That's what I was going to ask. I know a little bit about the comics, and that Chrysanthemum, I think is how you say that name.
It's chrysanthemum.
Yes.
Chrysanthemum, yeah. And he was like a gladiator at one point because he mentions that. Boba mentions that.
Yes.
And but they were supposedly they worked together at some point, and then also there was like a whole thing where he gets into a brawl with Kenobi at some point. So is that going to show up in Kenobi? So many of these things that are happening right now in Tatooine make you think this could be setup stuff for
I agree.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
You know, even though this happens later.
Yes.
Yeah, because he gives that overly detailed, like, this isn't the blank gladiator pits, and I don't have a Trandoshan with a hand on the spinning wheel, or something. What did he say?
Yeah.
It was the something pits of Dur.
Yeah.
And a sleeping Trandoshan or something like that.
At the switch or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, he ends up becoming a gladiator, I think, after his fight with Kenobi. The scar that he has on his above his left eye is from Kenobi.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
he's a badass looking motherfucker.
Yeah, he
and when
is.
they do share that they have that exchange, where they look at each other where Chrysanthemum's kind of like, yeah, you know what I'm capable of.
You've seen me do it.
Yeah. Well, it also made me think with this whole like claiming his territory, Jabba's territory. We're 5 years after Jabba's death. So were they just cool with the fact that Bib was running it, or did they even know? Like what, you know what I mean? That made me
Well, as
wonder.
long as Bib was still sending, whatever their portion of the proceeds are, the mafia coin, so to speak, I guess
that's
it's
what
all
it is.
right.
Yeah, and I mean, the more stuff I see like this, especially what we'll get into later with the Pikes and all that being involved, I think we're gonna see Han in this series. I keep thinking that it's gonna happen. I know we talked about Kira. I think we might see a flashback with Alden Ehrenreich.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, from things that I've read, it's rumored that something had happened. Whether I think it was like pre-Viz though, I don't remember. But if any, Kira for sure. I think it's
For sure.
It's likely we're going to see her. The discussion is because there's talks that Harrison Ford came back and shot, and they do the de-aging process and all this shit. And I'm like, why would he do it? Like, I think he's done. But they're like, and if they've got Alden, why wouldn't they use Alden? And the discussion was, well, this takes place during the time that Harrison Ford played Han Solo, so it makes sense for it to look like that. But if they're gonna end up using Alden, then why not just fucking age him a little bit and use him? I kind of hope they do use him, because that means we're going to see more Han down the line.
I agree with that. Or I think if they do it in more of a flashback mode that goes back further than the original trilogy somehow, then you could see it be Alden, and then it wouldn't matter. I see what you're saying though. If it's during a time when Harrison played him, it would be a little bit awkward. I'm sure people would be fucking pissed that Alden's playing him.
If they bring Harrison Ford back, then it has to be in a scene with Hamill. That's the only way it's going to mean anything, is if you get to see the two of them on screen again together. Because otherwise it's fan service, right? Otherwise they've already done it where like, ooh, they surprised us with Luke, and now they're going to surprise us with Han. So why don't they just put like, oh shit, you didn't see this coming, did you?
Right. That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'd be up for it.
Same.
And the only other thing I was going to say is that, well, eventually in that scene, Boba's basically like, fuck you. You have to kill me if you want to take it. This is my spot. And clearly the gal, the sister Hut, just wants to fucking kill him. But she realized that the other guy's the more measured guy, I guess. I like how he says, we'll deal with this later. He's like, sleep lightly.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And then she says we'd have to get permission to kill a Hut. From whom?
Yeah, it would have to be from one of the other heads, right?
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting statement. She said that they're huts, so if we need permission.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
anyway.
that is true.
So we go back to the Flashbacta tank. Now, I don't know if anybody's using that term, but I'm going to coin it.
Boom. Fucking brilliant.
Nicely done. That was nicely done.
Copyright FACPA.
That's I'm like jealous I didn't come up with that. That's good.
You were really excited all of a sudden.
So the Tuskens are literally combing the desert. This is what you're talking about with Spaceballs. Man, we ain't found shit.
Oh, there's another one coming up.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that was so funny. It's either that or they're like dragging the infield for the next inning of baseball. I'm not sure what they're doing there.
They're looking for those fucking coconuts or whatever the hell they are.
Like
Watermelon.
The sand melons.
Right. So Boba's being trained by the Tusken warrior, who is played by this gal who we talked about a little bit in our DMs. She's done some superhero stunt work for Gal Gadot and for Brie Larson.
Yep.
She's fucking awesome. I really love her character, and you just get a great dose of her in this episode.
Yeah.
Boba's kind of using his little training stick, and he's getting better, but he's still getting his butt kicked. And that's when the train rolls in, and holy shit. What did you think it was at first? Did you think Crate Dragon? Did you think some monster? Or did you know it was some sort of...
I seriously, I thought Favreau had like a fucking fever dream of like the Coors bullet train from when we were kids. Like,
they all of a
where
sudden
did this
feel
thing come
refreshed.
from, man? All of a sudden, there's this fucking train just flying through the desert.
And the poor banthas are taking the full brunt of this thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a... What was it? Was it the movie Maverick where they're shooting from the side of the train? They're shooting at like doves. Having like a competition. No, it was Unforgiven. Whatever his name, Wild Bill or Fast Bill or English Bob was his name.
Oh, you'll get there.
Yeah, English Bob, and he's making wagers and he's shooting fucking doves from the side of the train.
Okay.
I felt like that this is what they're doing, like the rich people of Tatooine. Like, hey, let's go out and fucking ride the train and shoot some sand
There
people.
you go. Yeah.
It's like an expedition that they sell.
Like the fucking sand people are on the wrong side of the tracks, so they just get to take a blast.
And that's like really like their excuse later on is like, well, we were just protecting our. They're fucking standing out there doing nothing, and you guys are just taking blasts at them.
Yeah.
As you're going by 900 miles an hour.
Preemptive strike.
Yeah.
Well, and when I watched it back, because I thought, these guys are just fucking letting the bantha take one so they can just, hide behind it. And then I realized they show them like trying to get the banthas to move and they won't move. Like,
right.
Well, sorry, bro.
You stubborn fuck, you're dead now.
Yep. Well, we've seen a bantha move too. It's not gonna get out of fucking range.
Yeah. It's not gonna get scared like a fucking cat and do a backflip and die behind a sand dune.
Whoever wants can get it. Takes off.
So they just get destroyed. And you don't really know who it is that did it. And then they're doing like, that night they're burning the bodies and all that kind of stuff. And that's when Boba kind of walks out, has a sip of his water coconut. And he sees kind of in the darkness the Nikto biker gang like going along in their speeders. So he's like, runs back to the chief. He's like, hey, I need a gun. I need a stick. I'm going to help you stop the train. I'll be back.
I'll be back by morning.
Apparently they've also got some rudimentary sign language worked out between them. And it's always... Boba Fett putting his fist into his hand. Yeah. And that signifies everything.
Seems like they understand a little bit of English more so than he does not understand. So he's, a little bit of...
Well, then we saw it in The Mandalorian too. We saw the sign language. They were doing
That's
that
true.
with Mando was doing that. So yeah, but you're right, Cole. It's a lot of like, I'm going to go to the grocery store and just the hand. Like, what does that mean?
You know what? I bet those fucking sand people know the universal signal for lightsaber.
So weird.
Oh, burn.
So when that next scene happens, did you guys recognize it right away? Did you know that was Tosche Station right away?
That's what that was?
That was Tosche Station?
That's Tosche Station. Did you not know that?
I thought Tosche Station was a fucking store.
The Oasis little thing?
So Tosche Station, did you ever see the, I'm sure you did, the deleted scenes from A New Hope when he goes and he sees, that's the same place he goes into.
Where they're walking on the wall. Oh.
That's the same exact place that they went.
Oh, shit.
So when you go back,
deleted scenes from A New Hope.
Look at the scene when Boba walks in, or even just in general when they're showing the scene in the bar. Mm-hmm. That is the same exact fucking place that Luke walks in that deleted scene. There's even the video game shit in the back. It's the same place.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking
Tosche
cool.
Station is just like a little Oasis bar in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, my understanding is Tosche Station is like it's a repair shop of sorts, but then I think they kind of it was where they hung out and they converted it into this little like bar, and even to the point where those two people in there are from A New Hope, the deleted scene.
Those two people are?
Yes.
Because I thought it was fucking Lone Star and Princess Vespa.
There you go. There's
fucking tell me he's got the hair. He's got the leather jacket on just like him. She's fucking chilling with her long black hair. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Are they trying fucking for Spaceballs in this episode?
Yeah, that is Cammy and Fixer. And they are in the deleted scene. They're the other two people besides him and Biggs in that deleted scene. They're calling Luke Wormy. I watched it the other day just to remind myself.
Okay.
They're like totally picking on Luke. They really like gave the business to Luke.
Where do you find this deleted scene? I don't think it's on Disney Plus, is it?
It is. If you go to Disney Plus and you go to the extra tab on A New Hope, you'll see there's a bunch of different videos, and if you keep digging, there's some deleted scenes, and one of them is that scene where it's like a 3-minute long scene or something where they show them interacting and stuff, and him talking to Biggs about joining the rebellion.
Oh, I'm kind of curious.
And then that's not the same scene that him and Biggs walking around is that the outside of Tosche where he's got his cape on?
And they're like kind of drunk.
Right, and they're talking about the stars and shit. And
yes,
okay.
So earlier in the scene is when he walks in and sees all those people and finds Biggs, and then later they're just outside in that front area.
Okay,
so it's the same. That's the same place. I thought you guys knew that. I'm excited you guys know that now.
Yeah, I'll go back and check it all out now.
But this scene reminded me of. Have you seen A Bronx Tale?
Oh God.
Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah.
And he goes in. There's a point where there's this biker gang that like goes into this bar and like start fucking giving the business to this bartender, and they're being disrespectful and just pricks. And Chaz Palminteri like asks them to stop, and they're like, okay, and then they just keep doing it. So he closes the door and he goes, "Now you can't leave," and they all shit their pants. That's exactly what this felt like. He walked in and they all were like, "Uh-oh."
But he didn't even give them a chance. He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna clean house and just whoops all their fucking asses. I was like, a little testosterone. He had to fucking work some of it off. I think.
Did you see his facial expressions?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, it was almost like a cum face.
Every time he fights it, I was gonna say it looks like he's just like taking a hard shit.
Or he's got an appendicitis.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that because he seriously sells the "I'm taking a shit" face when he fucking goes after it. We need to get a screenshot of that one.
I do like how he whoops all their asses, and then he just slams that spotchka. It's like,
yep.
And walks out. If he had money, he would have flipped him a coin and been like, "Sorry for the mess."
Right? Yeah. And then he goes outside, just like kind of looks at all of the speeders and says, "I'll take all of them."
Yeah, I love that. Chains them all together.
Yep.
And then he takes them back, and we get this hilarious fucking speeder bike driver's ed class.
Hey, the bartender looked a little bit like Cliff from Cheers, by the way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Did you guys catch that?
That would be so fitting since Ratzenberger's in everything.
Burgers,
like
yeah.
That would be. I didn't notice.
Take a look back, and it looked like him when
he's
he was
in A New Hope too.
Right. Oh, no, he's in.
Or is it Empire?
He's in Empire.
Okay.
He's one of the ground
Moth troopers. Yeah.
troopers. Yeah.
It looked like that. It looked like that version with a big white mustache.
Yeah, okay. I didn't notice that. I'll have to take a look at that. that bartender just does clean up like nothing happened. He's like, just gonna clean up the glass. Yeah. The funny thing about scenes like that is like, let's fast forward 15 minutes when they all wake up and their bikes are gone, and they're like, well, now we're gonna kill you.
I feel like that's why the biker gang comes into play later on, and whoever that woman is.
Could be. What happens? Oh, so yeah, he takes it back. He's like, "This is my gift to you." They all start trying to dismantle the things.
They're breaking,
like,
fucking hitting it. No machines over here.
Do you guys notice that he's able to do like all of this like training and fighting fresh out of the fucking Sarlacc pit, but later on when they're flash forwarding, he has a fight with the Night Order or the Night Wind, and he has to go take a dip into the Bacta tank.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if like
Flashbacta tank.
Yeah, I'm because same thing. Like he was like real hurt in the first episode, worn out, sun, all that shit, which makes all sense. But all of a sudden, he's had a couple of fucking water coconuts, and he's feeling better, and goes into a bar and whoops everyone's fucking ass. But no Bacta tank needed. So I'm where does the
maybe he has Crohn's.
I think when he takes the because the shot to the helmet from Bane would be before. Yeah, so
maybe the water coconuts are a natural Bacta type healing deal. Maybe they make you feel better.
Holy shit, you might be onto something.
We should fucking start selling that shit.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what's in it. Just say
I take it back. Filoni, all ideas are up for sale.
So then that's when we get the scene where he's like trying to show him how to ride with simple hand gestures. Like pull back and then goes back, and you go forward and smash into my hand again. And that's when we get the like a benta. And that is going to be one of the most used gifts of the year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it just looks so dirty. Like it's pretty fucking awesome. But you get those teeth.
Very versatile as well. A lot of situations you can get.
So within like 3 minutes, we get the whole training montage, and then they're ready to speed off into the sunset on these badasses. You know, the one can hop from one to the other, and you know the kids taught how to flash a mirror to show them when the train's coming. They're ready to go. Yeah,
the back and forth when he's standing there and they're just going back and forth in front of him and stuff is like, it looked like a 15-year-old in a fucking mall parking lot trying to learn how to drive. It's hilarious.
And that jump from one speeder to the other, it's like the most uncoordinated sand person you can get.
Well, I mean, when you're jumping from bantha to bantha, I mean, you've got all day.
Yeah. He's like, we're gonna be going much faster here when we're doing this live, but
And then he does more training with the warrior.
Yep.
So he continues that training, and that's when we get to the train heist, to the silver bullet, to tapping the Rockies.
Do you think to go back to the fight real quick? Do you think that's going to come back into play? The move where she loses the gaffy stick, but fucking does like a somersault and catches it and takes him out. I was like, oh, that move's a little. I feel like we're going to see that again. Yeah.
a little too involved.
That's like the Kylo. Well, no, is it Rey or Kylo that fucking drops the lightsaber?
Rey drops it.
Catches it and turns it on. And
oh no, sorry, that is Rey.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Rey does the drop because she's got it up top. Yeah, Kylo does the blast to the face when she tosses him the saber. He does the turn on and it just goes right in the guy's eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking eye.
Right in the eye. So now we go to kind of a Lawrence of Arabia feel with this attack on the train.
Yes.
They head off on their bikes to attack, and through the clever use of grappling hooks, because got to use grappling hooks. They board the train and start kind of trying to make their way to the head car. This is when we finally see the Pikes, which we saw in Clone Wars, The Bad Batch, etc. So it was cool to see them in live action.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we saw them in Solo a little bit.
Yes,
but this was a lot more of them. So it was cool.
Yep, and we get another mention of the spice mines in Kessel.
Yep.
The Sansana spice from the Kessel slave mines.
I love that fucking droid that's just like working the fucking conductor?
Spider droid.
He's just like, and no one is going to be able to fucking drive that thing because you need 18 fucking arms. He's in there and he's like,
he jumps out and then scurries off. I love that. But that fucking move that the warrior gal does when she comes flying in and that's the fucking greatest move so far this series. When she comes does that kind of stoops down on the bike and then jumps aboard as it smashes into the train and blows up. That was awesome. I love that scene.
And she really saves their she saves their bacon.
She's the one that goes through the train and whoops ass and then pulls the guy out of the fucking manhole cover.
That's the best one. He's looking at him and then he disappears and she pops up and is looking at him again like, oh, there's two more? Okay, I'll go get him.
Yep.
Love her. And then, so once Boba gets to the head car, that the robot bails, he's able to stop the train, thankfully. And then when he's asking the guy about the spice, I love that. He's like, who's your leader? And that guy comes up and takes off his mask and he has that, we get to see what the Pikes look like.
Yeah.
And he's like, spice? I don't know what that, dude, could you describe it to me?
Uh-huh.
He's like, it looks like that.
Yeah. So what is he so worried? What's that thing? What do you guys think about that? Why is he so interested in spice?
Drug dealer.
It's worth a fucking fortune. So they're smuggling that shit across Tatooine for one reason or another.
He was asking very pointed questions. I just wondered if he thought that was leading somewhere. Like was there something that I was missing? Is he referring to like this is where I'm going next type of a deal? Maybe like setting this.
Well, I think this is probably going to lead into probably some of what he's doing with the being a crime lord. He knows something else is going on there, and I'm guessing this has nothing to do with Jabba, right? Because these are the Pikes. So now someone's running some shit unbeknownst to Jabba's crew, maybe? Or maybe Bib's in on this shit and taking a little cut. I don't know.
Or he just doesn't want drugs being involved. It's like in The Godfather when they're all the heads of the families are sitting around. They're like, hey, no drugs. Or I think Marlon Brando's character says that. He's like, we're not going to do the drug thing. I don't know. Maybe it was something like that. I'm not sure. But
okay.
It was you might be right. It might be, a lead up to something else. But then he eventually just says, like, take this back to your fucking bosses. And by the way, you can walk to Anchorhead. It's over there. Here's a water coconut.
Yeah.
You want to come through here, you got to pay a toll.
Yep. I like that. He kind of like put a voice to the Sand People who've been kind of just like, everyone's just kind of like been shitting on him. Like, right. Like, they've been doing their fair share of shitting on others too, but like, they haven't been organized. They haven't been like had a leader for them. Yeah. And he's kind of like, okay, no more. This is our turf. And if you want to come through, you're going to pay your tolls. If you don't have no tolls, you don't get no rolls.
There's a gripe I saw on Twitter that people are arguing that, just another way for Star Wars to show the white savior. I'm like,
he's not white.
Not white. Yeah. I sent you guys the thing, right? Did you guys read it?
He's not white?
He is not white.
Yeah. His teeth are.
Well, no,
his teeth are very white.
I got to reverse all my views on him. I don't care. I don't care for Tamura now.
No, he's Maori. He's so it's I think people just, I don't know. I guess they're just assuming he is. I'm not sure why. So it's an odd argument to make.
Right. Yeah.
But I think you're also seeing with the Tusken thing. I mean, obviously there's a a gazillion Native American parallels here.
Yes.
And one of them being that, some tribes are more, warlike and some are just surviving. And so this is obviously one that's not so, I think that's where people maybe are trying to justify Anakin slaughtering that tribe, but they're like, well, they were some of the bad Tuskens.
They were the Comanches.
They tortured me.
Yeah, they're the Comanches. The Comanches and the Pawnees, just cut them up. The Sioux, let them live.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that
Dances
might
with
be
Wolves ones, let them go.
that might be what they're getting at. I'm not sure, but I thought it was interesting too because then the chief is like telling him they're in the hut or whatever, they're in the tent, and he's like, once the ocean's dried up. So apparently Tatooine used to be a flourishing planet that, got dried up because all the moisture farmers ruined the environment or something. I don't know.
Global warming.
It was. He says the thing about some tribes survive by killing, but they hid. So that's where he's kind of showing the distinction of the different tribes, and they're not all the same. And so he offers Boba a gift, which is the Geico gecko.
up the fucking nose.
This was a bit trippy. I mean,
God.
Do you get like the sort of like a? I'm trying to think where they're pulling from. Like, there's a little bit of like a Dances with Wolves, or like
definitely some Dances with Wolves.
13th Warrior, where like he's in this tribe and learns their fucking language and shit, and kind of becomes part of them. They really play with a lot of fucking themes with this.
I feel like we're getting fucked with quite a bit. I said that to myself as I was watching this. I was like, are they fucking with us right now? Like, they're just gonna put the most mishmash bullshit together, like the fucking spirit dance around the fire after he's got his gaffy stick that he goes and creates, and he does his vision quest, and they're like, let's see if these fanboys will fucking like this. Like, let's put the most stupid shit together and like.
Yeah, but that's based off of his culture. Like,
there's like a haka.
Yes. Yeah.
It was like a Dances with Wolves around the fire when John Dunbar builds the fire by himself and he's doing the like fucking moving around it, like after they killed the buffalo. Like, that's what I got from it. I don't know. I just felt like they're fucking with us a lot. Like, they're just going to be like, we can do no wrong. We're going to put whatever we want. And let's put some ludicrous shit together. And see
Well, I mean, this is all sort of, it's not formulaic.
I seriously think that's what they're doing.
It's recognizable in the themes that they're using and
think
why
they're
it's
fucking with us.
Really.
So cynical.
So you do not agree with
Matt,
the...
it's the conspiracy theory in me. The conspiracy theorist in me. I can't let it...
You don't like the idea of the psychedelic tree frog?
The fucking
his ass?
lizard.
Yeah.
The rat for the fucking bandana or the fucking handkerchief.
I love, what does he say? He goes, oh, am I going to... Whoa.
Yeah. Because I think I swallowed it.
Yeah.
It looks like they blow spice in his face. It
Right.
must be something else, I guess. But that lizard just goes right after it and gets inside his nasal cavity. It's like, oh, that was uncomfortable to watch. And to your point, Cole, I think a lot of this is fleshing out the Tusken culture a lot because we're going to see more stuff on Tatooine, and you're going to get a better understanding of who these people are, and also, of course, showing the connection he's making because of the fact that, again, he's trying to like be a man of the people. He's trying to like, he ends up kind of having all these various people, because I think the Tuskens are going to come to his aid down the line somewhere, and this is going to paint the picture of why, because he has this deep relationship with them. I think that's what they're getting at. I don't think they're sitting around the room going, let's try this crazy shit.
I think they're pushing the envelope a little bit. I think they feel like they got full creative circle or
You're
full
getting a little
quit
annoyed,
control.
aren't you?
No, I'm just like,
Cole's
I'm
getting
looking at-
upset.
Yeah.
Just give me one fucking banjo scene and I'll fucking quit. I'll quit watching this. No, I just feel like they feel like that they can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't know. But I've spoken my piece.
You're 50% Diet Sprite right now, so
That's
who knows?
probably. Yeah, I don't know. Hopped up on the juice.
I am enjoying the fact that they're taking us down a road that I was not expecting at all. And they're really given like as much time as we spend on Tatooine with all of these movies and every we really don't know, and there really does seem to be like they're building like the life and culture on this planet. We're getting to see more of what the hell's happening here, other than fucking Anchorhead and Mos Eisley. You know what I mean? So
right,
I love the way they're developing this character, because it was completely. It's going like the other direction I didn't expect. And at first I was like, but now I'm sort of on board. I'm on board for the ride.
Given, and many people gripe about how they're like, for this like planet that's the farthest from the center of the universe, or whatever, a galaxy, what Luke says in A New Hope, and for this remote location, boy, it sure gets a lot of action. Like, we keep coming back to Tatooine. So it makes sense to flesh it out more because all we've ever seen is the experience of the visitors, essentially,
Right.
for the
Yes.
most part.
Yep.
You get a little bit of Jawas, you get a little bit of Tusken Raiders, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's with the Mandalorian and now with this, you're really seeing a lot more of that culture because you're going to see more Tatooine. So now they don't have to do this in Kenobi. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
You get to Kenobi, you're going to have a better idea of who these people are and,
Mm-hmm.
and their motivations and all that kind of stuff.
We do know one thing. He doesn't know how to fucking dress himself because apparently he gets dressed by droids or fucking Tusken Raiders. I mean, you put your own fucking clothes on. You put your pants on one leg at a time like the rest of us.
I think he probably got done and was like, can somebody write that down? Because I'm not going to figure that out next time I have to do it myself. And maybe this is why they don't ever take the robes off because they can't figure out how to get them back on.
Yeah.
It is interesting, like, to look back at. I mean, they had all this planned, like, the first time they revealed him, right? Because he's wearing the fucking black cloaks and the stick and all his weed whacker, you called it, remember?
Yeah.
Back in the day. And then now we're seeing like origin of all of that. And I'm like, holy shit. They were like already ready for all of this.
Did anyone give the Tusken Raiders a memo that black absorbs sunlight? It draws heat in?
But they got that skin treatment. They're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure they knew.
Keep your lighter tones. We get this sequence though, when he gets high and starts looking around. Could you imagine being fucking high and all you see are Tusken Raider faces? You'd be like, holy fuck, get me out of here. Like, it'd be the biggest nightmare ever.
You tripping balls, man.
Like, whoa. Yeah, they're all touching him like, you okay? And then,
Yeah.
the next thing you know, he's wandering. At first, it's this tree. It looks like there's like waves, like a sea. And I don't know if you noticed all the little red eyes behind
Yeah.
him when he goes up to him.
Yeah.
Did you see the concept art later? They actually had, it was the yellow Jawa eyes
Yes.
that were all surrounding it. I thought that
Yep.
was kind of interesting.
It would be funny if they cut to real time and he's actually just rolling around with a broomstick on the ground.
They keep trying to like put it in his hand. He doesn't notice. They're all touching him like this.
Stop,
It's
man.
just like a piece of
Keep
driftwood
him safe.
out there in the fucking
Safe.
sand.
Yeah. He never leaves the camp.
Someone's just like spilling coconut water on his face.
And then
Thinks
he
he's
wakes
stuck
up.
in the ocean.
He wakes up and somebody used a Sharpie and did a dick on his face.
Yeah. A fucking big old bantha dick on his face.
So this is all like foreshadowing for things, right? Like I feel like all of these elements are going to mean something as we go through the show.
Yeah, I would think so.
Now was the water for name the planet again?
Camino.
Yeah.
Camino?
Was the water Camino
Oh, good
or is
thought.
the water the oceans on Tatooine before?
I was thinking the latter, but you might be right. I was thinking more like a flashback to Days of Yore
Oh.
when Tatooine had oceans.
You're talking about in the vision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Camino right off the bat too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was thinking.
I can't imagine, Cole, you watching this on your phone, hopped up after your surgery, this sequence, and just being like, what?
I was waiting for my second Sprite, so I was probably really fucking like out of it.
I'm going to need that morphine.
I kept seeing that water. I was like, oh, I'm so thirsty.
It comes out of he's wrestling a nurse.
You're watching a desert show and your fucking mouth is like a desert.
He's taking his own appendix out.
So hurry this along.
Yeah.
Oh, he has that vision for a second, by the way, of Django flying away. That was kind of cool. Like
Yeah, slave one.
him running to the window and seeing
Right.
Django fly away on Camino. That was a cool shot.
Yep.
It makes you think, is that something that was filmed from the original?
I feel
We
like
never
they're
saw?
going to go back to that because
Pizza
they
rolls
keep
are in the
showing us.
fridge.
They keep showing us flashbacks to young Django or young Boba.
Right. Yeah.
So I think there's something coming back because otherwise, like, what do they keep reminding us of Camino and young Boba for?
Yeah, that's a good point. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, so he gets his stick and he walks back, and that's when they robe him.
Withdraw the lizard.
Well, Andy he blows his nose and the Geico lizard comes back out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. He goes. I
He
thought that
goes
was part
back
of
into
the
his
dream.
cage.
And then we get let's build a gaffy stick together scene,
Yeah.
which you shared it, and I had actually seen it just before that was the Ralph McQuarrie shot. It is so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, how many goddamn drawings did this guy do? Because they keep popping up in different instances of all the stuff he's done that they're now borrowing from. Because it
Right.
looks almost identical to what he drew 44 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty amazing. But yeah, that scene was kind of fun. You know, he's crafting that thing. People are making fun. They're like, that guy's got like a beveled chisel. Where'd they get that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a Home Depot around?
What's a lathe run on in the Sansa Tatooine? Like, where's their power coming from?
Yeah.
It's the fucking Rodian over there on a bicycle, fucking powering it.
Yeah, right.
He's still there. And then that's kind of it. Then we get the haka dance around the fire, and that was it. So it made me think, kind of again, what do we think we're going to see next? I never say never with the Tuskens, because we thought they might move on a little bit last time, but I would assume that's the last you're going to see of them heavily involved in flashbacks for a bit. They're going to try to get onto either another flashback story or more of this issue with the Hutts, don't you think?
Yeah, I feel like he's going to call on the Tuskens later on, probably in the finale, and they're going to come to his aid and help him maybe reclaim Tatooine or something. He's going to lose it, and then he's going to be like cast out in the desert, and it'll be like one of those things.
Well, in the flashbacks, yeah, you're right. Like I think we're going to see him leave the Tuskens for whatever reason, because we've got a few years to cover yet. He's got to find out about his armor, at least in the flashbacks. Probably more to do with the Pikes, I would think.
Yep.
And then
fucking Pikeys.
And coming up, like in the present time, what do you got? He's going to have to dig into more of like these syndicates, who's trying to kill him. I mean, obviously, he's supposed to sleep light, so someone's going to try and fucking kill him again. Or he's going to do something to prevent it, right?
Yeah. There's not that many of them. There's 4 people. There's two Gamorreans, Fennec and Boba. So it's like you would think somebody's going to go after him.
Yeah, I mean, and no one's hanging out at fucking Jabba's palace anymore. So he's going to have to bring in, because at one point, like, all the fucking bounty hunters and whoever kind of hung out there. So, yeah, I think I don't fucking know what to expect. I really don't. Kind of in the dark.
I just was thinking, there's got to be some other flashback stuff that's a different era from what we saw.
No, you mentioned earlier in the show when they said you're going to have to get permission to kill the Hutt. Mm-hmm. Luke killed Jabba and didn't have permission, so we never caught ramifications from that, right? Like,
technically, Leia killed him.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
So the Skywalkers never caught any sort of, or it was never explained to us, right? So that could be...
They're above reproach.
Right. So I want... white privilege.
Yeah, exactly. There it comes again.
Full circle. Oh, stop. So yeah, that's something that wasn't explained prior, or maybe it was explained, but we just never were privy to it, right?
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
They got to get into the syndicates. They got to get into more of that stuff. It's just,
right.
And I would think that right now, so far, we've been like, I don't know what, 2/3 flashback, 1/3 present day, maybe at most. I think you're going to start seeing it, I'm guessing, skew a little the other way, a little bit more modern day with a touch of the flashbacks. That would be my assumption. That's what I would think.
Not often are we wrong.
We get these things going pretty good. Tamora Morrison said, he was talking to the Hollywood Reporter, and again, this guy's promoting his own show, so he's going to say these things, but he said there's like big surprises coming, and he said, quote, "We've got some good stuff coming up. Ooh, wait till episode 7. Wow."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's thinking, they have to go big. They went big in the second season of Mandalorian. The first season of Mandalorian had big moments, of course, but not like the second season. Second season was just like one after another. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm just like, what are they gonna drop? Because really, these are like self-contained. Like we thought for sure he was leaving Tatooine. 2 episodes we've spent on Tatooine, so
he's got to leave.
Right? Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Maybe we see Slave 1 this time. Maybe we see that scene that they showed briefly in the trailer where he and Fennec like walk into that hangar or whatever. And it's
right, and they show it, don't they? Yeah.
Maybe we finally see that. There's the Rumspringer girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm never going to let that one down. But she has got to come into play at some point. So there's still a lot of stuff that we saw in the trailer that we haven't even seen yet. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Skewers?
Yeah. Kebabbers.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the Maul Bag.
The Maul Bag.
Hello there.
You've got mail.
Kenobi!
Play it out. Yeah, do the hands. We just all we know him as is Major Domo. He doesn't even have his own name necessarily.
I'm gonna get some pull for him. Maybe a new Mike Laybourne drop. Greetings, pardons, your pardons. But could you shut the fuck up?
We got a couple this week. The first one is from Jeannie, and Jeannie did some listen and typing. So here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Hey guys, I'm writing today because Jason demanded it. Apparently I have issues disappointing people. Back at work and doing a lovely listener response, so I'm sure I'll be ridiculed. Here we go. Ridiculed?
Oh, we would never.
Never do that. First, I will be switching jobs. This is my last week in my current position, and I need to get my hilt, so I need time to come up and get a beer with you guys. What exactly will you be doing in your new job that you need a hilt? You need a Darth Maul hilt?
Yeah.
She's going to be an appendectomy person. She needs to laser cut people.
Also, way to make this about you.
She applied to be a Sith Lord, and the training program starts Monday, so she's gonna need that hilt.
And what are you going to need a double ender, too?
Mm-hmm. What are you doing, Jeannie?
Mm-hmm. All the sex stores in Grand Rapids have been closed down.
I, for one, would like to congratulate you on your new adventure.
Was it Hoth when you went home, Cole? We got ice and no real snow down here. Oh, hi, Mark. This is so funny. I love snow. Bring it. Actually took a vacation in winter to the mountains so that I had more snow. I went snowshoeing. It was amazing.
I love the stream of consciousness.
What is going on here?
You had three fucking espressos.
Then she switches to Gwyn's head is always, what's in the box? Okay, Cole's umbilical cord blood for the win.
Nice.
That's a reference to our question of the week last week.
Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Dark Horse is in Marshall. Their Scott Karate Scotch Ale is amazing. Plus, this is closer to you guys than Detroit. What is she talking about? I mean, a place that you go to drink?
We said Dark Horse Comics, and there was something about Dark Horse Brewery, right?
Dark Horse Brewery, it's in Marshall. Yep,
Okay.
Michigan.
Gotcha. I enjoy the quote, let's talk about the show, followed by the fact that no one was excited by the 39-minute episode. I think we were excited. Maybe Cole wasn't, but we... I'm just kidding.
I loved it.
We were upset about the time because we wanted more. And this episode was 53 minutes, so they gave us more, which is nice. Then she just screams Mortal Kombat.
I need, someone to decipher this. Because I'm like, what the fuck were we talking about? With each line, I'm like, I don't know what this is referencing.
Oh my God.
Why Mortal Kombat?
There was some reference to, I think it was some
Shield
sort of kill. Oh no, it was to the assassins looked like Mortal Kombat or something like that.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, with the fucking case.
Scorpion and yeah.
We're trying, Jeannie. We're trying. Then she says, what is a better way to dishearten a person than to have them beaten up by tiny people? Wow. Then she says, Jason, come on. Those guys are from the mayor. Because you didn't think they were from the mayor, I guess.
But they weren't.
But they weren't. So you were right.
Right.
And then she said, AARP members, this made me laugh so hard, Matt. Thank you. At least someone liked my joke. He is a clone, so he may need to be coddled due to his lifespan being close to being over? Question mark?
But he wasn't.
I'm waiting for Cole to get mad. Not another fucking person crying because they got a parent. I'm mad about Ezra.
I was just gonna say I don't think he's been sped up like the rest of the clowns, so he's gonna be
Right. He's unaltered. Yeah.
unaltered. Yeah, he's a
Jason,
purist.
he's what?
He's a
Purist?
purist. He's the last true humanist.
That's right. Jason, the drink of water is because he earned his place. He is respected as a person, not a slave. Pause.
Did I question that?
You
No,
did, you
but-
bastard.
Here's the best part. Wait. Next line. You got there. Thank you, Jason. I love how she keeps all this in there.
She's not heavy on the editing pen.
I'm waiting for there to be a moment where it's like, make dentist appointment.
She's probably talking to type on this.
Pick up cucumbers and light bulbs.
Oh my God. First of all, Mike is a good guy. That
We
person
lost
that I
us.
have not met.
We lost us
Ooh.
there. We lost us there.
Yeah, Cole begs to differ. I'm not excited about the show yet. I am trying to be excited about the next episode. My fingers crossed that it will get more exciting. Oh, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for another great rundown. Thank you for your rundown, Gene.
Yes.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I love the stream of consciousness. It's great.
There's a lot there. And our second email is from...
Hi, I'm Date Mike. Nice to meet me.
Hey, Mike.
Everybody hates you. Everybody wishes that you were dead.
In Chapter 2, Boba, this is Mike Laybourne for those not in the know. In Chapter 2, Boba is gifted a lizard that sits in his brain and makes him fight a tree. What? That's a good way to put it.
Oh, fuck. Ow. I'm literally holding my stitches right now. It hurts so fucking bad. I just see him out there fighting the tree, swinging in his Mandalorian armor. You bastard!
What's the strangest Star Wars gift you guys have ever been given? I've got a Stormtrooper cheese board that I was given one Christmas. Then he says, love the new drop, Cole. Solid 8 out of 10. See? He's still digging. He's not going to give you full credit.
4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Stay safe, everyone, and Happy New Year. Love, Mike.
I don't think I've ever been given a Star Wars gift, to be honest.
I don't know if any of them are strange.
They're perfectly normal.
Yeah.
For a grown man to receive.
For a 45-year-old father of 5.
Why would that be strange?
Well, you got me the Death Star cutting board for Christmas one year, right? Wasn't that from you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. I guess that would be the strangest.
People are strangers.
I don't think I got a lot of strange gifts. I had some pretty sweet Star Wars like T-shirts back in the day when I was a kid. Do you remember the ones that like that screen print, shitty screen print?
Yeah.
I had a lot of those. There's a lot of pictures with me like wearing one of those and like holding a stormtrooper. So
Okay.
the allegiance runs deep.
The strangest thing that's ever gonna occur is what Jeannie does with that hilt, the double hilt.
You want her to send you a video?
I've had my head under a petticoat or two.
She's gonna live text that whole
Periscope
experience.
I'm gonna periscope the thing.
How long is this thing? That's it for our Maul Bag. You guys get entries into our contest. Again, facpapod@gmail.com if you'd like to send us something for the Maul Bag. Thank you.
No factoid this week. We'll try and have one for you next week. This was our episode. You're welcome. We'll see you next week. And until next time,
Never tell us the odds.
In our experience, there's no such thing as luck.
we have spoken.